Alright guys, welcome in. Today we're going to be doing a cast from the grand finals of the Novea Star Cup. This is the finals. It is going to be a best out of 5 against two of the best Stormgate players. We have msrm versus snoxtar. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Inferno, we have msrm. And in the upper right-hand corner, we have as the red Infernal, Snoxtar. Alright, so msrm going for the shrine first. And Snoxtar already getting some Therium. He went for the shrine first as well, but he's getting Therium pretty quick. Getting Imp on the Therium pretty early, starting with an Iron Vault. Iron Vault as well from msrm. Now, it seems like we get a lot of games on Magma Chamber. It seems like the new favorite map. It's actually the newest map made by Matterino. Now, a lot of people usually take the third over here, but we have a second Iron Vault going down from msrm. Now, are we getting a third? We'll find out, I guess, in a moment. I just feel like that Iron Vault, okay, he still is getting a third, but just getting that second Iron Vault to be safe. Oh, nope, that is okay. So I think we're going to be having a lot of pressure from msrm, it looks like. Snoxtar, he is macroing up behind this. He did get the Therium slightly faster, but at this point, they both are pretty close. Their upgrades might finish, or there could be more gaunts from Snoxtar, but I mean, we're really looking at very minor differences because this is an infernal matchup, like infernal mirror matchup. But here's another differentiating factor. We got Snoxtar taking a third and msrm not taking a third, but getting that other Iron Vault. So definitely aggressive play coming in from msrm. It looks like he's getting a Hellforge, so he's going for a big Brute all-in. Off of 2 bases. We do see this a lot from Infernal because the Brute upgrade is really strong, and it does like, if you can get on top of the gaunts, they can kill a lot of gaunts, especially because of, like, you know, the speed and their ability to surround them. We got these Fiends just coming in for a scout. msrm saw that, you know, he took a third, and fighting in the well, trying to keep them alive. A little micro battle with the Fiends. Snoxtar did win that little micro battle. And let's see. Now, this upgrade does take a bit of time. I do want to point out this upgrade. I think it's like, I think it's like 90 seconds. I want to say, and like it's pretty long. Because you can get the Gaunt upgrade significantly faster. You see, this one's already almost complete. So, I mean, and this Stormgate's going off also at this time, so there is going to be a fight, because kind of in a mirror matchup, especially a Infernal, sometimes things can snowball depending upon who gets this Stormgate. Because say if you get the Farron, you know, and you're trying to be an aggressor, and you have the Farron, you know, you're going to be having units that are able to get healed and this and that. So getting this first Stormgate in a mirror can really, really change the outcome. But Snoxtar's being really greedy, and he might just let this first Stormgate go, it looks like. He did cancel it, I believe. I want to say he canceled that. Because I did see just like an Imp remaining that I think was from him dying. So, I don't know. Snoxtar was being pretty greedy, and this could definitely snowball into msrm's favor. He got the Creeping Horror from this. Alright, so again, we do have the upgrade done from the Gaunts, and the upgrade for the Brutes is just about to be complete, so he's going to try to go in and time this right when it completes to try to see if he can get a nice surround. I mean, the forces do look pretty even. The supply is very close. Snoxtar is just slightly behind msrm with the Creeping Horror, though, but fighting into this this wall off, he was not able to actually utilize maybe the surround that he could have had because of that the walls there. Snoxtar doing a good job just trying to position himself in a defensive locations, because he knows that these Brutes, if they get on top of him, can really kill him. The Creeping Horror is getting targeted down, though, and it will go down. And I think it's just because of the fiends, all the phantoms spawning, they're just doing so much small amounts of DPS that they're just getting on top of those brutes, and it didn't really work out so much. I mean, I think more damage needed to be done, because now msrm's kind of in a bad spot, because he went all in there, kind of was supposed to work on the two bases, and getting a third base from this point is kind of out of the question. You know, like, you could, but you would know he's a good player, and he probably knows how behind he would be if he does try, but let's see what happens. Okay, he's gonna hold on, and he's gonna try to get that third base still. Two base didn't work, but we're not giving up yet. We're gonna stay and do what we can. Right now, see if Snoxtar goes back to get the fourth. I know that msrm knows that he wants to, because he's got these fiends just kind of sitting here waiting. He's trying to macro up, get his third base saturated. We do have his Twilight Spire going down from Snoxtar, so we're going to be getting quick tier 3. Let's see, do we have... we do have the Twilight Spire actually already done, but tier 3, the Greater Shine, tier 3 is not started quite yet. Okay, we have a Blood Tree, so maybe we're going to be seeing some Spriggans, it looks like. Just off of one shrine, I mean, you do pop out 2 Spriggans per round, kind of like the Gaunts, but maybe we'll see another Greater Shrine go down momentarily. Yes, Noxar did take the fourth base. I don't know if those fiends saw that. I think they ran over here and ended up dying, so I don't know if they were able to see that. But Stormgate going off again. It is that same Stormgate, same location. This one is a little bit closer to msrm's reinforcements, but also it can snowball because it also is so close to his reinforcements and his home right here that they could easily push in right after grabbing the Stormgate. And depending upon what they get, I don't know if msrm is even contesting this, but there was a drop that went down, and thankfully he was able to have those Spriggans. He probably did a Hellspawn Resurgence to get so many Spriggans out, but because of that, he did lose the Stormgate, and Snoxtar was able to see because of that also that he does have the Spriggans, so he chose the Sky Hunters. So that is the choice from the Stormgate from Snoxtar. These guys are basically super anti-air, which is really good because we don't really have a lot of anti-air options from Infernals. So to deal with all those Spriggans, we're going to need the Gaunts, but you see these Brutes are actually getting on top of the Gaunts, trying to target specifically the Gaunts so that these Spriggans will be able to just free reign on everything else. These Sky Hunters are actually not even fighting the Spriggans whatsoever, but they were trying to deal with everything else over there with the rest of the army, and the Spriggans were able to just go in and take out that third base. And I don't know, I think the imps stayed alive, but the third base went down. So they can transfer to this fourth, those imps. But meanwhile, msrm did take his own fourth behind it. So that did look like it put him in a good place, but there was just a lot of remaining forces, I think. It was a very good idea, and I think that, you know, it looked really good on paper, and it almost looked like it was going to work, and taking out the base was great, but yeah, just all those remaining forces were there, and Snoxtar takes game number 1. Game number 2 on Bo5, and it's going to be a best out of 5. Snoxtar is up a game, spawning in the upper right-hand corner, playing as the blue Infernal. We have Snoxtar. And in the bottom left-hand corner, as the red Infernal, we have msrm. Now, this is that map. You get very long rush distance, like I said, because of that weird S shape. You have to go all the way around, so both players definitely going for that expand first. Now, again, this isn't mirror matchup, so very small things will make the difference. Everything is looking quite identical, other than, again, this imp getting the quicker Therium. Now, last game we saw msrm do a bit of a 2-base all-in, but this time we do see the Conclave going down, so I don't think he's going to be doing that same brute all in because last time he went for 2 iron vaults, and this time he's putting the conclave down. So we might see the quicker third base out of him this time because you can easily do that on this map. It looks like with this, I don't know if Snoxtar is taking a third though. Because, okay, so we do have the effigy starting to move forward out. Okay, he just didn't pull his imp as quickly as I expected to. Okay, so I was like, is he getting the third? But, all right, he's choosing to get this nice little pocket third. Now, this one's, like, a bit safer to take, but the only thing, you don't have any therium at this base at all. So taking this one, it's a little bit more out in the open. But again, units can only come from this angle anyways, unless they're air units or drops, but you will get that extra patch right here. But also, msrm doing the same thing, probably just feeling a little bit safer versus, an Infernal player, because in a different matchup, maybe you wouldn't have to be so vulnerable for forces to be, like, swarming you so much at this base over here. So I feel like I saw in the last game earlier with msrm, he actually took this one over here, but that was against a Vanguard player. So it might be just like, matchup, might change, because maybe he's not going to be going for as much, therium, so it's not as important because, you might just be going for a lot more brutes. Snoxtar is getting a quick fourth though. Snoxtar's being a little bit greedy. Well, maybe, I don't know if he's being too greedy, but we'll find out. But he could be just utilizing the way that you can fortify on this map to, and you might have to sacrifice the Stormgate, I think, for this, because if you are Snoxtar and you're getting, okay, but msrm is also doing the same thing. So they're both playing really macro this game. Is it gonna go down? We did lose them. No. Oh, and this is a far away Stormgate. So if you... The only person that can really get this probably is msrm, because the way that the units have to go, there's no way for them to get across this water without a drop. So this Stormgate over here, msrm could just go straight this way to get them, but Snoxtar is going to have to go all the way around, and I don't think that's very ideal. And I think that he knows that he's going to have to sacrifice this Stormgate, and that is why we have a Shroud Stone going up. Because he's going to have to try to be able to defend possibly what is taken from this Stormgate. Because if it is, like a Creeping Horror, or if he gets the Faerun and he's pushing with this, that he's going to need to fortify like a forward front area over here. And I think msrm was a little weary, wanted to play it safe, and just sent a single Fiend. He knows that he has the reinforcement advantage to get there a little faster, so he's like, okay, I'll just send the Fiend. If I need to, I'll go that way. Now, msrm is actually going for Miasma. I saw that Hexen in the army, and I wanted to go see what the upgrades were going on. So we just finished the Adept training, and we're going for a quick Miasma. Now, I don't know, did he get the Gaunt upgrade already? He did, but he skipped the Reaper's Rush in order to be able to get the Miasma out faster. And what do we got going on from the Snox man? I think he went for the... No, he does not have the Reaper's Rush yet. He is, okay, he's researching Reaper's Rush now. So we're going to basically see how Reaper's Rush, updated gaunts are going to go against Miasma. He did get a Soul Forge msrm, so he's not getting any of those units that he kind of pushes with. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Actually cloning 2 Hexens. So we got more Hexens out of this. Usually we see like a Magmadon or like a Weaver, from the... But if you're researching, the Hexen, that's a great idea. So we're going to have even more Miasma. Now, I don't know when the pushing will happen. I know that the Miasma is a long upgrade too. I think that one, I don't know if it's 90 or 120 seconds, but it's definitely... I think it's 90, but it definitely takes a bit of time. The other one is quicker. The first Hexen upgrade is a little bit quicker, so that one goes fast, and then just waiting to get the Miasma. Okay, so we have a drop. A skull would be really nice if you could throw a skull of Shedder onto this drop. You could see exactly where it's going, but he's going to probably waypoint reinforcements to deal with it and use this force to attack. Now, we're going to have 2 things probably going on at once, so let's quickly look at this drop. It's coming in. and it looks like there is some units here to kind of take care of it, but not many. So I think a lot of damage is going to be dealt. Meanwhile, we do have a couple Magmadons in the mix, and a couple miasma has gone off. A lot of gaunts have gone down, but these Magmadons they're almost like immune to the miasma. Like they will not die that easily from the miasma, and Hexens are also very squishy, so they are taking a lot of damage. We do have a Magmadon coming in of his own, but a lot of Hexens went down, and that is like a lot of money. So now that we lost all those Hexens, the only thing that we have left is a Hellborn. This is not going very well now for MSRM. He was able to clean up this drop, though, at home, thankfully, for his sake. And then another Stormgate is now going off. So Snoxtar's definitely seems like he's ahead because of that engagement. The supply counts, though, are still very even. I think that could have been different if he wasn't able to clean up that drop so much, and if he took too much damage. That could have been why we saw a lot of those Hexens going down, because it was very detrimental to deal with this. We have a Shroud Stone going down to try to defend any future drops, but one is already here, and it's actually doing quite a bit of damage to the imps here, but a Magmadon comes in, and it did save the day for a moment, but Snoxtar did pick up a lot of the units and was able to save a lot of the gaunts. And the Stormgate gaunt went off over here. This one was actually in Snoxtar's favor. He got the Void Prowlers out of it. I say in the favor because of the location, because this one was a little bit more located better for reinforcements to come for Snoxtar. He's really trying to finish off this natural. I think he saw how many workers he had over here, because he had like double workers on gas and Therium. So he really was he's a little hungry for this. Now we saw in a different game that these guys, they don't jump over really easily over that cliffside. They have to be right on the edge, and oh, is this drop going to go down if these gaunts can target it? No, they didn't. Well, they were targeting it, but it got out a little bit too fast, and it's going to actually be able to go into this well and heal up. Okay, so we just saw them blink. I don't know where. So maybe he's going to try to jump this gap, because this gap is slightly closer. As you see, this is like a 90-degree corner, but the shroud is out to there. So it goes, I guess the shroud goes over water, and it pops out on the other end. So MSRM saw these Void Prowlers sitting on the edge of the shroud, so he knew that he was planning to drop there or jump over the cliff, and he brought his units over here to deal with it. Lots of Magmadons out. So I guess this is turning into be a bit of a Magmadon battle, but it looks like Hellborns. Snoxtar switched over into a bunch of Hellborns. Now, where's the rest of his forces? I feel like at this point doesn't really have too much. Okay, he's maybe playing a bit reactionary, Snoxtar, and macroing up. We had a drop from MSRM, but I don't think it did too much damage. Okay, no, we have Spriggans. That's what's going on with Snoxtar, because I was like, where's his army? Like, he's banking up for Spriggans, and he's using the Hellborn to kind of just fortify the area so any ground units can really get in there. I guess this Brute was following the drop so it could find out where it went, and it might get picked off. Oh, it did. There wasn't a lot in it, but don't want to lose that. I don't think that MSRM has seen that they're Spriggans. We do have a Twilight Spire, but we only have one. But we will be able to make Shadow Flyers from it, and we do have a lot of Gaunts. So, actually, we don't have a lot of Gaunts as MSRM. And we have a dragon. Snoxtar has a dragon. So we have tier 3 dragon and Spriggans. So we're going to need a lot of anti-air as MSRM to probably deal with all this. I feel like he went into a lot of Magmadons because Snoxtar had a lot of Magmadons before. The miasma can push them back, but there is so many Spriggans and just not enough Gaunts and not enough Shadow Flyers. I think those Spriggans really caught things off guard, especially the dragon too, and just in combination with all this, all the fiends and phantoms that are spawning from this dragon, it's just creating a lot. There's a thumbs up, I think, from MSRM. Maybe something awesome happened and he was saying good job on that. these Magmadons trying to get on top of the Hellborns. They're doing a pretty good job. So they took out a lot of the Hellborns. Magmadons are really strong. They have a lot of health. But, of course, this dragon and the air units, like I was saying, they are still there. And a whole bunch of the army from Snoxtar was actually over here getting this Stormgate. So we got some Soul Forges, or Power Stones. Okay, so we Power Stoned one of the Magmadons. Did he Power Stone the other Magmadon? I think he did. So he just has 2 super buffed out Magmadons right now to deal with all the rest of the ground forces. Not a bad idea. Oh, actually, only 1. Did he buff up Brute? I think he did. It's like, I don't think he used the Avatar on the dragon. I'm surprised that he didn't. And now he's just over here. There's, MSRM does have a 5th base, but not for long, and there's no damage being done over here to Snoxtar's 5th, so I think MSRM is going to lose this 5th base and then quite possibly this 4th base, but it looks like there's a lot of Shadow Flyers. But MSRM sees the defeat, and he gives the GG, and Snoxtar takes game number 2. All right, game number 3 in this best out of 5 for the finals. We have Snoxtar up 2 games, and spawning in the upper left-hand corner as the blue Infernal player, we have MSRM. And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as the red Infernal player, we have Snoxtar. Alright, this map is huge. Okay, guys, this is Ember Frost. It's really beautiful. I love it. But it is huge. It is a huge map. Like, you can take a 3rd and a 4th very comfortably. You have a base here. You have a base here. Then you can expand out. This is just a very, very greedy map, if you so much as want to be. You have this beautiful Stormgate in the center, and you have 2 others on either side of it. So, let's see how these players are going to play on this, especially in an Infernal. So we have, from MSRM, expansion first into the Conclave and Iron Vault now again. So we're not going to see the quick, crazy brute build that we saw last time in the first game, because that Conclave is down. And what do we see over here from Snoxtar? Snoxtar opening very similar as the other games, getting the expansion, same buildings, mirror games so far. We'll see where this leads to from here. Really quick 3rd from MSRM. I do like this base. You can actually take a little pocket base over here, but the Shroud, I guess, doesn't reach there so quickly. Because you can place it over here, and it's kind of in the corner here, but a lot of players just place it right here, probably because it's easier to get the Shroud there. Same with Snoxtar. So both players getting the 3rd base. We don't have... Okay, so actually he's mining... I was going to say, at first I thought he wasn't mining any Therium, but he's actually mining the Therium at his natural and not at his main. The Ritual Chamber going down super quick. We have a couple Scouting Fiends that were actually able to take out that Effigy. Now that is actually a super huge important detail to point out, because that Effigy going down is actually going to delay Snoxtar's 3rd base, like, significantly, because this 3rd base doesn't have the Shroud, so it's not building as quickly, and now you see MSRM's base was able to finish because he still has his Effigy, and now he's mining from that base, and he's going to have a slightly bit of an advantage because of that. Not by much, but, you know, at least he's getting his base saturated with some imps a little quicker. We have another Iron Vault going down from MSRM. Just more production buildings. We have those Fiends coming in. Actually, to able to take out an Imp, trying to equalize the damage that was done, because now if he loses these Imps, it kind of, you know, equalizes the fact that he had the slower base because he's not actually mining from it because he lost the Imps. So that kind of equalized things out, you know, just a bit. He was left with only 1 Imp, and now Snoxtar already has 4 Imps on it. So I feel like in the end, that things kind of evened out. All right, first Stormgate going off. It's going to be the far left one. Now, I think that Snoxtar can take this much easily because, look, at his units just have to go right that way to get to this, to get to there. I don't, and I think that MSRM might be a little weary of like units coming in on such a large map because his army didn't really go towards the Stormgate right away. I think he was not sure if it was a good idea or not, but waiting to see if snoxtar brought his units first, which he did. So now he knows it's safe, but because this map is such a big map, it's really hard to get there at that point. The Faerun was chosen. Faerun's gonna keep a lot of snoxtar's units alive for a lot longer. So if we do have any future engagements, snoxtar's units will be able to be healed. So sometimes, you can target fire, like, some of the brutes in the front line. So you can have, like, an invincible brute in the front line for a while. Fourth base going down from Snoxtar and a fourth base going down from msrm. So both players getting a fourth after that. Now let's see if anybody's doing anything different. So we have Reaper's Rush from msrm. So he didn't go for the miasma this game. It didn't really work out last game. It did for like a little bit, but the quick Magmadons were able to kind of deal with the brutes, or deal with the miasma, because they were just kind of like invincible to it. They didn't die. They just stayed alive, and then they were able to just continuously do their tramples on the remaining Hexens. So maybe not the greatest idea if you're going against like a lot of Magmadons. And maybe MSRM just knows from the last game that there was a lot of Magmadons at first, but he said, okay, nope, never mind. We're going to get the Reaper's Rush, then we're going to get Miasma this time. So we're just going to get it all. So we will be seeing more Hexens, it looks like. Let's see what Snoxtar is deciding to do. We saw, last time we did have a Dragon from Snoxtar. This time we already have a Twilight Spire down. We have I did notice every time I noticed that Snoxtar has a Twilight Spire down, MSRM already has it down. So MSRM seems to be really quick on the Twilight Spire, but okay, tier 3 is already being researched, so we will have slightly faster tier 3 from MSRM. Maybe he's planning to go quick dragon faster than his opponent. We shall see. But he is definitely going for the tier 3, and we don't have like a Hellforge down, so we're not really getting like the brute tier 3 upgrade or the... Oh, we do have a Hellforge down. Okay. So maybe we're going to go for some tier 3 upgrades from the Hellforge. That's also possible. I think we're not going to really see too much until the next Stormgate goes off momentarily, because both players are just trying to macro up as much as they possibly can leading up to this next Stormgate. Let's see. So this is going to be done slightly later. Let's see what MSRM chooses to do with this quicker tier 3. We're going to find out very shortly, because it's about to be done. The Stormgate is going to go off. I don't know which one it's going to be. We have this fiend that's just running around trying to pick on these imps. Alright, and a 5th base from MSRM, and no 5th base just yet from Snoxtar, and a drop coming in from MSRM.
Stormgate will activate soon.
Nothing is here to defend this drop. Units actually are fairly close, but this might actually be a nice distraction that will allow MSRM to possibly be able to take this other Stormgate. We will see. This drop had to be forced to teleport home, and now it looks like actually Snoxtar might get to this Stormgate first, because his reinforcements were pulled out kind of in the direction of it. But this drop's going to go off, and it was just a distraction drop. He didn't care if he lost all that stuff from the drop, because he just needed to kind of stop him from getting the Stormgate for a moment until the rest of his units got there. Now these Magmadons, again, these Hexens were able to drop some nice miasma, but those Magmadons, they were very, very stompy and very tanky, and they are just pushing everything back while Snoxtar takes the Stormgate over here. Stormgate was taken, but these units may be possibly overextending. We do have the Brute upgrade, and the Brute upgrade actually can deal with Magmadons not so bad. So I think that could be what is... did he get a dragon? Okay, so there is a dragon, and is there tier 3? Oh wait, I'm looking at a Magmadon. I'm trying to click on a Brute here. Okay, so we don't have the tier 3 Brute upgrade, but maybe that can come next. But MSRM wants to get a dragon. He doesn't want it to be like last game when he didn't get the dragon and Snoxtar did. He was targeting the explodey guys with the Hellborns, which was right of him, because they can kill a lot of units really quick. They're like giant banelings. That was what Snoxtar picked out of the Stormgate. Now I think MSRM is just trying to hold on as much as he can. He will have defenders advantage until this dragon pops out. He will have a dragon before Snoxtar. I don't even think Snoxtar got a dragon. He got tier 3, but I don't think he utilized it unless he just got, no, I mean, he could be having some upgrades going on at home, but he does not have the tier 3 brute upgraded. And his reinforcements are going to take a long time to get here because of the map size. So I think if msrm could just hold on, he might be able to win this game once this dragon pops. Now, where is this dragon? It should be popping any moment. There it is. So we have the dragon now out on the field, and we have a Snoxtar running away. And I don't know what Snoxtar's doing with his tier 3. He's got a ton of Shadow Flyers now. And he's going for another Twilight Spire to try to get some more Shadow Flyers out to deal with the dragon. But it looks like msrm got Spriggans and Shadow Flyers of his own, which is that's going to be able to try to deal with those other anti-air things that the Shadow Flyers of Snoxtar. Alright, so this is that 5th base that msrm is actually already mining from. So he is very ahead right now. A lot of his units on the ground are a bit squishy, but he's getting a perfect surround, and with the phantoms that are spawning, because he has the dragon, these units are just getting surrounded and overwhelmed, and even though he has those magmadons that are strong, the Spriggans are just able to kill them because they can't shoot up. And I think this is looking like this could be the end, because it's just all these units are just coming in at such a slow rate and getting surrounded from Snoxtar and just dying so quick that I don't think he's going to be able to do much. Yeah, Snoxtar GG'd out, and msrm takes his first game in the series. Alright, game number 4 in this best out of 5. We have Snoxtar up 2 games, but msrm has won 1 game. So msrm's going to have to do a reverse sweep here if he wants to win this finals. Spawning in the bottom middle, we have, as the blue Infernal player, we have Snoxtar. And his opponent in the upper middle, we have the red Infernal player, msrm. I say middle because I can't really say right or left. It's the middle. But I do want to also point out we have a really quick Iron Vault from Snoxtar. Really quick Iron Vault. I don't know if I think he's just going to try to use this to make a fiend and try to come in and do some damage. Maybe he realized that the other games, maybe msrm open Shrine first, or they both have been opening Shrine first. A lot of people are doing that on this map. Or not this map, but a lot of these bigger maps. But this one is a slightly smaller map. It is kind of, and it's a straight shot just to get there. There's no curves. You can get in there really quickly. So we do have the 2 fiends like I was thinking that he was probably going to be doing. It's a delayed expansion, so I mean, he's going to have to come in. He's going to use it to try to snipe this effigy to slow down the build time of the natural, but it is almost finished as it is, so sniping the effigy only delayed it by a very minimal amount. But he does not have a brute out, and he's going to have to either choose pull these imps to try to fight this, or let it die. And he chooses to get the imps. We do have, with the imps and the imps pulled, he will be able to push this off, and I feel like that wasn't really worth it to have such a delayed expansion. I mean, maybe on a even smaller map you could have got in to do more damage, because if you got in there a little bit earlier, that effigy going down would have actually like been more significant delay. But because these maps are a little bit bigger, I don't think that it really was worth it. msrm didn't lose any imps in the process, so I mean, if anything, maybe he lost one, but I want to say that he didn't. It didn't really look like he did. We have a lot of guys on the cast though, so msrm's trying to go for a quick upgrade at the ritual chamber and take a 3rd. And I feel like Snoxtar is slightly behind because of that. We have the ritual chamber going down too. We just have less saturation, but somehow Snoxtar has a higher supply count. Oh, we took this other 3rd over here. Okay, so we have both players are able to take a 3rd. I thought he didn't for a second, but then I kind of forgot. You have this whole area over here where you could just have a free base. I'm surprised that msrm didn't take that one. Maybe he thought like I did and just is so used to taking forward bases and not even thinking that this exists. Or he just wants to save it for later. I mean, this could be for the long run type base. Like if you're unable to take any more
rift
forward
detected.
bases.
A Stormgate will activate
All right.
soon.
This Stormgate is right in the center. This is like the most centerized Stormgate that you can get. Because there's other ones that are kind of like off, and then this one's over here is like on the high ground, and it's in a really small area. So this is like the most open Stormgate, and it has a double
Stormgate has
mining
appeared.
base from it, which probably is pretty crazy late game when this is like one of the only patches left to mine, and you have Stormgates going off. I could see this being like having some pretty interesting late game fights. This map. All right, now Snoxtar was able to push msrm back. He's taking this Stormgate, but ever so slowly. He still has a long way to go to get it down, but I don't think that msrm is going to be able to contest it with the reinforcements showing up. And then this third base is quite vulnerable after that because of the location. I don't know if taking the forward base was a great idea or not, because if we took this back base, we might have been a little safer for this moment. The Favorite is out too, so the Favorite's going to be able to heal a lot, and there is a Sim City, so his units can get kind of jumbled up in here, but we already targeted this, and if that goes down, then we're going to have these supply blocked possibly. This is just, yeah, I think this is just a lot of stuff from Snoxtar. Even though I felt like he was at a disadvantage in the early game, and that wasn't really worth it, he had a slightly later base. He actually produced more units. It didn't quite saturate his base, so he is actually playing slightly all in, but with like a third behind it, because he only has 8 guys on his natural, and msrm actually saturated his natural. But msrm, because he was able to saturate his bases a little faster, he actually has the resources to get this Magmadon out, which was really good, but Snoxtar was able to back up and not take any of the trample shots, and now these brutes are just kind of targeting the Magmadon down, and I don't know if we're going to have the numbers here to deal with this for msrm. This Favorite's getting targeted now too, which yeah. I don't think there's much you can do here. I think this might be the beginning of the end, but I mean, if msrm loses this game, then he's gonna lose the series, and he doesn't want that. So he's holding on right now. He's holding on with everything that he's got to try to stay in this. What did we have as a plan? Let's see, we have just a lot of Magmadons, so that's the plan. The plan is get the Magmadons out, stomp our way to victory. Let's go. Alright, he actually spawned. Okay, he was waiting on a bunch of charges. Maybe he was hoping that with the Magmadon and then spawning a bunch of units out over here, he would be able to create like a sandwich. But I don't think that the sandwich worked out because a lot of those gaunts went down really, really quickly. And then losing that third, and then Snoxtar's taking his fourth now. Alright, maybe a game-saving Hellborn. I don't know, but maybe. Okay. Okay, we have lots. Okay, a Gaunt drop. He's gonna try to
Dimensional rift detected. A
go
Stormgate
do a drop
will
and equalize the
activate
pressure.
soon.
Maybe he can take the third base, because you know what? This is a big map, kind of. Maybe this base is very vulnerable, and that's why msrm didn't want to take it, because of the ability to take drops if your units are out in a forward position. But getting this Stormgate is gonna be a very big deal for this situation. I mean, we already got the first Stormgate. We still have the Favorite in the picture. Yeah, msrm says GG. I guess losing that third and not being able to get this Stormgate. Snoxtar takes game number 4, and he takes the series. And Snoxtar is the winner of the Novea Star Cup. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next Novea Star Cup too. But I'll be casting some more tournaments in the meantime. Thank you guys.